we'll do like a quick thing. Try to tell people at least like who they're listening to. So we live in East Tennessee. I'm Travis Elliott.
Spencer Whittington.
And we met randomly at our gym over a Tyler Childers t-shirt.
Yeah, I was wearing a Tyler Childers t-shirt and he came up to me and was like, "Hey man, I like Tyler Childers."
Tried to hit on him.
And I was like, all right, this guy likes good music, he might be all right.
Maybe he trains hard.
Right.
So we've been training together for a couple months now, most of the pandemic. And just give, I guess, quick background if we ever get this out to people who don't know us. I kind of played football through junior high, elementary school, junior high, into high school, and it was just too small when I went to college. So did not get to play any kind of like collegiate sport. Started messing around with boxing. It's like when the UFC really kind of like took off with that before the first season of Ultimate Fighter. But it was popular, so I was boxing, and really just boxing with like people on campus. So just beating up people that would come spar with us. There was no training.
Yeah.
And then it began to grow enough with the popularity that we had a lot of people that we could take over a racquetball court.
Yeah.
Right. It was just sparring and drill work, and then we had two guys move in. One was a Marine and one was a Scottish Thai boxer, and we started really training. So I trained through college in a couple of MMA fights, and then did Muay Thai for a couple of years, and won a tournament in 2011 as a national title.
Nice.
And then have just been working on really kind of strength shit since then.
Right.
Did the sport of Olympic weightlifting, and then went into just physique work and wanted to look better, which is how we met.
Right. And I played college football. I played all sports in high school and everything.
No one sees you and doesn't think he definitely played college football.
Yeah, it's obvious. I get that. Where you play?
Yeah.
I'm 31 years old, and people walk up to me and go, "You played for UT?" And I go, "I'm old man. No, definitely not."
But you could definitely still pass as like a defensive end.
Right. But yeah, I did play Division III college football. I ended up being the team captain in all conference. All that jazz. So that was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. Definitely could have worked harder back then, but I was more interested in drinking beer at that point. But that's all right. When I was done playing college football, I was like 310 pounds or something like that.
How tall are you?
I'm like 6'2". 6'1.5" probably.
6'2".
6'2" on the.
Do I gotta write it down?
Yeah, 6'2" on the program, right? But
6'2" on the program. 6'2" if I gotta write it down and be honest.
I'm probably like 6'1.5". Yeah, I was like 310, and I was like, man, I don't want to be like this anymore. I want to have a six pack for the first time in my life. So
when is it? This is like post football.
This is post football, so post college football. I was like, all right, I don't have college football anymore. But you played. I don't need to be this.
What position in college?
I played left offensive tackle.
Okay, so you need to be a big guy.
I need to be a big.
You're the blind side.
So yeah, I was a tight end in high school, and when I went to college, I played 1 year tight end, and then they were like, "You're an offensive lineman," and I was like, "All right, I guess I'm an offensive lineman."
Did you have soft hands?
I guess.
Could you catch balls and stuff? Did you ever catch a touchdown or anything?
No.
So I was a defensive. Go ahead.
So my freshman year, I made varsity because I was a good long snapper. I was a long snapper.
I did too.
So that's how I made varsity. In Division III, you have like a JV and a varsity. But it's different than your like D1 schools and stuff like that. But yeah, I made varsity, so it was a big deal. But I didn't get much clock playing tight end my freshman year.
I played tight end. I was listed as an offensive tight end, but really just a linebacker. Mm-hmm. I went out they had to chew out the starting tight end. He missed a block. Yeah. And they sent me in. Stupidly caught pass play where I'm not in blocking.
Sure. And
drop out like a 3-yard hook. Yeah. I'm just wide open. No one expects the backup tight end to get the ball. And the quarterback threw the ball to hit me right in the numbers. And I dropped it. And you're get on defense.
Yeah.
Like, sit the fuck down.
Yeah.
So what do you, after college, you're 310, you want a six pack. Yeah. How's that decision come about?
Started, I don't know. I was just like, I don't want to be fat anymore. I don't know why that I came to that epiphany, but I just didn't want to be fat anymore. So I started losing weight and everything, and started getting into like having a nice physique. And I lost weight and I got a pretty nice physique, and I was like, I started getting into like, I worked out with my buddies in college, and we would watch Pumpkin Iron. Obviously, that's like your
classic.
That's like your thing. Everybody says that. You watch Pumpkin Iron for the first time, you're like, and you see that, and it's just like an epiphany where it's like, how do you look like that? I don't look like that. Well, how did they get like this? And then you fall into the YouTube holes and you read all the magazines, and then eventually you find yourself bodybuilding, and you're like, oh, it just happened. Yeah,
It's a few short turns.
Right? This is how it happens. So yeah, I started getting into bodybuilding. I should have done a little research before I started talking about this, but I did my first show, I don't know, I was like 24.
We can get
24, yeah.
You can lie.
I was like 24, 25.
I was gonna know.
Yeah. And I didn't know. I was absolutely fat and absolutely terrible, but I thought I was doing a good job. Yeah, I was not in shape. I had no idea how to train. So when I first started bodybuilding, no one that I knew was into bodybuilding. Not one person. I'd never met a person that was into bodybuilding. So I always thought I was weird, obviously. Just like I'm sure anyone who gets into it at first.
Anyone who has a pursuit in anything.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you think you're weird at first, and you're like, I don't know anyone that. And so I didn't know how to go about finding coaches or whatever.
How to use resources or whatever.
Yeah, so I never really had anyone to give me decent guidance, but I found a guy that gave me a diet, and I dieted down, and I didn't get in shape, and I just kind of kept going from there. I don't know, I just wanted to keep going, so I just kept bodybuilding, and I eventually found peers, and you learn over the years and everything. And
so how many shows have you done?
Five.
And what was the outcome? What's the best you've ever done?
The best I've ever done was the 2019. Placings is weird because
Sure.
I'm a super heavy, so I've been really bad and won my class, and it's like super heavies are either the biggest guy in the show or they're really fat.
Yeah.
Like there's in between. There's no in between.
Yeah.
And I used to be the kind of fat kid who didn't know what he was doing, right? And that's fine. But I eventually figured it out, and my best showing was probably 2019 when I lost. I still lost, but but I lost to a really good bodybuilder named Bo Weiss in the Tennessee State show.
So moral of the story is, if you are watching this, and I'm sorry, I don't know where your rabbit holes have taken you that you're watching us talk about our training log, but yeah, not two people you want to take advice from.
Yeah. So far, we don't think that anyone's actually going to watch this.
Yeah.
I hope someone watches this and is interested in our conversations, but I definitely
It's a great
don't expect anybody to watch this.
It's a great segue.
But I want to do it.
Right.
It's fun.
I think, so for context, and content, that we are, my expectations, what we're going to cover is really like what we don't get to capture, unfortunately, on our camera as we're training. Because we have a philosophy of training that I think a lot of people share and a lot of people have found successful. This is new for me, so I get to speak to it from that angle. But also just the fact that we get to elaborate on these conversations that we have while we're training. Because I don't know about you guys, if you're meatheads, you may understand that when we're training, it's the best part of my day.
Yeah.
So I'm firing, I have ideas, we're talking shit.
You're focused on it's almost like a meditation. Like during that set, you are completely turning your brain off and going as hard as you can. But when you get out of that, it's like you're refreshed. You're like, oh, I'm just here with my buddy. I'm just having a conversation. Like it's a fun part of the day where it's almost like a therapy where you can get away.
Sure.
Not that you're obviously you can get away from your family for a little while. Just a little bit,
Exactly.
It's fun.
So what we're hoping to do is be able to show you our training. You're going to see a couple of these clips were not that edited. You're going to see someone finish the set, be as tense as possible, and go right back into the conversation in the next breath. So we're going to kind of just commentate on what we're training, how we're approaching it, and this is also going to help keep us committed and rotating on things that we need to switch out and exercise are still, because you can't lie to the camera.
Yeah.
So cool. This is. The video opens up with me being a dumbass because we literally talked about doing two hands, and I go and
And
do a
he's doing one hand.
single arm, and he has to tell me.
We're doing 2 hands, buddy.
Yeah, 2 hands. Yeah, so here's just a standard, I guess, first set.
Yep.
First set, best set, last set, best set.
Right. Just focusing on pulling down his elbows as hard as he can. Try to hold on to that without gripping it too hard. I don't like gripping too hard when I do these things. It's like I want my hand to almost be like a hook,
Sure.
where I'm not doing anything but pulling down with my elbows.
It is funny as we get hotter and we take more layers off, it's easier to see what things are doing. But
Right.
of course, that's just pump covers and staying hot. We have a goal to try to look as homeless as possible.
Yeah.
I guess
I look like I was about to kiss you right there. Getting real close.
so we do all, I guess it's taboo or against conventional wisdom or most scientific reason. We like it because it's fun, and that's what keeps us trained. Is we do force reps on everything possible to do a force rep. So I guess a real DC inspired with enough of the scientific background to be smart with our training.
Right.
That we get a failure every set. Just about every set.
Pretty much every set. I don't see how
Pretty
anyone-
much.
what Dorian Yates did. So I think there's like a mixture of like there's definitely some people who would say don't go to complete failure every single set.
Hey,
but
hang on. Hey, Spencer, what's your training philosophy?
I go to failure every single set, and I understand how they would think of it that way. But
Sure.
everyone that I've ever admired, went balls to the wall, and that's what makes me feel good and have fun. So that's what I want to do.
So you can't just take the mindset like big people did this,
Right.
so I can get big. But there is some wisdom in help me out, the people come before you, the trailblazers. There are wisdom in. There's a reason you see things repeat, in concept at least, through most of the greats. Right, hard work is indistinguishable across everyone that you've ever admired.
Mm-hmm.
So is always working to a perfect set of 6 when 10's on the table?
Yeah.
I don't know. So we've adopted this training philosophy, and we're gonna see how it takes us.
Yep.
So moving on, exercise for time. This is, I should finish that thought. For time, we're at 2:56, 57, 2:58, 2:59, 3 minutes. I'm gonna try and sync up the time across if you guys want to jump around. But this is a single arm cable row with a great ass shot from me.
Nice boy.
Nice Blueberry Jones. But this is a single arm cable row. So elbow tracking low, trying to like drag through the pocket. New to the gym movement. We didn't have this set up at the last gym. We weren't utilizing it with the 2 cable cords.
This really blows me up on like real in the low lats.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm saying right now. It's that fucked me up.
Yeah. So again, here's an example of intensity to shit talk within the drop of a pin.
Well, I think right here you were starting to discuss that you were getting into Dune.
Yes, so we will probably talk about the books that we read and things that we'll learn. You did a thing last year where you listened to a book at least one a month, total of 12 for the year, you beat that. And then I jumped on the audiobooks just this month in February. Burnt through like a 4-hour one and then jumped right into Dune, all 27 hours of it.
Oh, it's so good though.
Yeah, and like, I have a hard time distinguishing characters in the beginning because it's just one dude's voice and other voice actors. So we've spent a lot of time between sets trying to figure out
the intricacies of Dune.
Yeah, and who the members are.
And the sand planet of Arrakis.
Yes.
If you've never read or listened to Dune, highly suggest it.
It's very good. It's entertaining. It's getting better by the moment. And there's a movie coming out, co-starring Jason Momoa.
Oh yeah.
So at least get the backstory. We took about 10 minutes here to get Spencer's grip lined up, but that's okay.
Figured it out.
So yeah, a lot of people use this machine. Many people use it like us. The big people do. We're not big yet, but the idea to track through as much of that stretch coming from your lat, right? Not rolling so much, and then trying to pull low and hard.
Yeah. I like to on the very end, just let my lat relax right there, and then pull. Almost stretch, pull.
There's definitely something going up.
Yeah, I believe that's my laundry. It's laundry day.
Could be fixed.
Yeah.
It's a big set, man. If we don't get this number right, there is a ton of work to do, and it's not anything you can get out of. Like if you're 10 reps in,
Right.
you're alone for that 19
It's like,
rep
yeah,
set.
if you get past 5
7?
reps,
Yeah.
you're doing the set.
Yeah,
you
you're
don't be
working.
done. You're ruining the rest of it. You gotta go to failure.
It is a good practice in your training partner to ask you, "Are you working here?"
Yes.
Because you're doing a lot, man.
Yes.
Let me just bring this to your attention.
Yeah, I think we say that about 100 times a day.
We say at least once.
Is this work? Is this working?
Is this working here? I may have cut out my right arm set, which is fine. You get the idea. It's the great thing about the camera is it exposes everything
Right.
that you do wrong.
Yeah, this is educational for us too, because we're watching and seeing how we're executing these exercises and
I got a ton.
whether we're executing them in the correct way, obviously.
I have way too much trunk rotation going on.
Yeah.
Just big and thick,
I-
though.
And we try to, obviously every single one we try to go to failure and then go a little bit beyond failure, do at least a couple force reps. I can never help him on this for force reps. It's awful. I look like an idiot right here trying to hold it.
You won't tell the truth.
I'll like let go too early and then he'll swing far. I'm just bad at it.
The truth is, you're terrified of getting your hand
Yeah, I don't want to get my
pinched.
fingers
You're
pinched.
terrified.
I'm tired. I got soft little fingers. I'm scared.
Important fingers. Thanks, camera. I think I said something. So moving on, another hammer strength machine to have. This is a chest supported row, and is easily recognizable and remembered by. You feel like you're in that little ball gunner pit at the bottom of like the Millennium Falcon or whatever. Yeah, you just feel
Like
like.
Now. World War II.
Oh yeah.
The
I
ball
think
turret.
Yeah, I think it was water. Yeah.
It's called ball turrets.
For sure. Yeah. Now, you're real fucked if the landing gear gives out and that's your
And then
spot.
you're dead. And then your buddy's got to go, oh, I got to live. Sorry.
And that's your spot. This machine is inspottable. There's no way we've figured
Yeah,
out
it's just
other
gotta
than just
go.
doing a shoulder press.
Do whatever you can here.
Yeah, to force the reps.
But it feels good. This
That's
thing's
good.
smooth.
We've done a good job since we switched to this gym of being able, like, you're not going to switch, you're not going to isolate parts of the lap, you're going to bias that
Right.
lap. So a lot of the vertical pull to that low row especially, and this one just jams all that stress between your shoulder blades.
Big pump in your mid back.
Yeah, try to get a camel back. And this is, of course, the first set that we ever recorded, the first day ever recorded. I went home demoralized. Sitting here, we're decent-sized people. On camera, I am half the man you are, especially width-wise, thickness, girth.
That's the illusion of bodybuilding.
Yeah.
You gotta try to look thick everywhere.
When there is no illusion for you. You're thick, dude.
It takes a lot of time.
Right. Or spinners. Assisted pull-ups. I don't know where the title is. Huh? Oh, we're talking about
Shoot.
Voltaire.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking Voltaire quote the other day.
I'm certain that I know.
I enjoyed it. We were discussing it there.
Well,
I was telling him the other day. Obviously, this is assisted pull-ups. So no one looks cool out of assisted. Like you look silly. You look like you got your little feet in there, like you're a little baby, but it's such an effective exercise.
yeah, your back looks massive.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's nothing that takes out that sensation of your shoulders ripping, and letting you train your back the way that an assisted pull-up does. Especially a good one like this. The one in our other gym's not that great, and this is not the best thing to spot, but we can kind of find
Honestly, it's all right.
Just
you
the
can do
fact
like
that-
a lot of force reps right
that.
as much
The
as
metal's sharp.
yeah.
That's-
You're scared you're gonna.
That is not like.
I was scared of this, of the other machine. That thing's gonna fucking cut
You
your
have to
finger
have
up.
your reversa grip on there.
Right.
This is cool. This is something I really like to grab on camera.
Yeah.
We've been to this place been open a month or so, and we've been here for like a couple
This
days.
guy's our boy.
These are dudes, man. So I don't want to cut out kind of because we're talking to them.
First time we met them, we were sitting in the sauna, and
Right,
we
first
had a
day.
discussion about how Joe Rogan is all of our dads now. So he just teaches us how to be good men, and that's what's happening now.
Well,
Obviously, Joe.
it came up because they were cutting the sauna off. And we were making the joke that the reason they have to cut the sauna off is when the manned hours are no longer operating.
Yeah.
Some asshole who listens to too much Rogan's going to be
Thinking
in a
they're
sweatsuit, right? Fucking shadow boxing with dumbbells, passes out and has a heat stroke, and then they get sued. So, of course,
Let's turn it up to 280.
Larry Hamilton
We're gonna
does it.
fucking cook ourselves.
You pussy.
Yeah.
He's in here with an airdyne. Yeah, so it's just a pull. It's nothing crazy. This is our back day. We do a ton of movements. This guy's doing calves. I think we end up catching.
Oh shit, my bad. I'm off for my shit. What's that? Oh shit, was off. You good, dog?
We're trying to be sneaky, though.
Yeah, exactly. Incognito.
So we did good because you didn't see